In a world that's too fixated on relationships and romance, you should know that it's not some divine end goal that must be upheld. Being single is not only okay, it's liberating. Society places immense pressure on men to seek partnerships that if they're not committed, there's something inherently wrong with them. That is not true, my brothers. We need to start recognizing the autonomy and independence that comes with being single. And that's what I'll be doing today. Non-stigmatizing the choice of remaining single for men who are made to feel like they're lesser than anybody. You're not. My brothers, we need to start valuing ourselves more than we already do. We need to accept that we're not all living the same lives. Today's message might resonate with some while it won't for others. That's the nature of the gig. You might find your contentment in a relationship, but not all have to, and for very valid reasons. So, let's delve into why it's not just okay to be single, but an empowering choice. First, self-sufficiency. The truth is, having a partner isn't a cure for emptiness, nor is it a requirement for happiness. If it was, then everyone in a relationship would be happy. But that is obviously not the case, is it? It would also mean that everyone who's single lives a sad life, which is also not the case. When you refuse to accept that relationship isn't truly the answer, you keep moving from one relationship to another, like how some drug users keep needing more drugs. Many do this because they think romance will fill that void within them, but they never really find what they're looking for. But if you're single, you can take the chance to be fully responsible for your happiness. It doesn't have to depend on things outside of you. When you're self-sufficient, both financially and emotionally, you're actually in a much better boat than you realize. Your emotions aren't on the mercy of someone else's mood or attitude towards you. So if you spend your days trying to push away solitude, it'll only hit you like an armored truck when the time comes. But if you've found your peace in it already, that experience actually turns sweet and enjoyable. Jean-Paul Sartre once said, "If you are lonely when you're alone, you are in bad company." In a society where relationships are the norm, a lot of men tend to see themselves as incomplete without a partner, as if they're just half of a heart that needs another half to be whole. But that couldn't be farther from the truth. Second, freedom. Say whatever you want. Single men simply have a lot more freedom than men in relationships, and you have the freedom to do whatever you please without having to equate your partner into the equation. You're saved from all of the arguing and compromising about your wants or desires. With this comes a very important aspect: freedom to find meaning in life. Albert Camus, a renowned philosopher, had this to say: "It's absurd to think with certainty that some things about life are inherently meaningful and others are not." And that's right. Who is to say being married or in a relationship holds more meaning over choosing your own independence? Choosing to be single may very well mean dedicating yourself completely to a purpose without giving any thought to relationships. A great example of this is actually Nikola Tesla, who basically dedicated his life to scientific work. Had he chosen to follow the norms and simply settle down, we in today's world wouldn't have the technology available to us, since there'd still be a long way to go. He explained that his abstinence from women was helpful to his scientific abilities. So, despite Tesla being a bit of an extreme example, you can see how being single increases the freedom of doing whatever gives our lives an actual meaning. Remember, singles get to care more about meaningful work than married people do. Lifelong single people develop a greater sense of autonomy over time than people who stay married. Therefore, decide exactly what you want to do with your life instead of blindly falling into society's settling down trap. Third, the ability to enjoy the many other pleasures of life. Epicurus, an ancient Greek philosopher, spoke about the wisdom of balancing one's pleasures to live peaceful lives with contentment. He strongly valued friendship and the delight in life's simple pleasures, such as bread, cheese, and wine shared with friends. However, he viewed romance, particularly carnal desires, as natural yet not essential, and something that could have harmful consequences. Epicurus cautioned that carnal desire can be harmful because it can make us waste our time and resources on someone we are temporarily infatuated with. To put it another way, we give up a major chunk of our own lives for someone else, and that comes with a high probability of leaving us feeling lost when it dwindles. In modern relationships, many times, passion takes the lead. Love affairs often start with intense attraction and excitement, but they lack clear thinking and direction. After the initial burst of pleasure and passion, there's a surge of pain and sadness. This includes the jealousy, the heartbreak, the fear of losing someone, and the sadness from being separated from the one you gave so much love to. So if you're not wanting to lose yourself in that life of chase, isn't it smarter to focus on types of love that are more calm and less intense? Regular friendships are usually less intense or thrilling, but they can be just as satisfying. Long-term friendships usually grow slowly upon shared interests, without any harmful attachments. It might not be as fiery as romance, but it's gentle and delightful, like a nice morning breezy. Hence, it's pretty evident that you're not really losing much by choosing the bachelor lifestyle. Social psychologist Bella Di Paolo actually suggests that being married doesn't always mean a better life. She says that the belief that marriage leads to increased happiness, better health, and greater social integration is exaggerated or simply incorrect. I hope that opened up your mind to the idea of being content with being single. You obviously don't have to make a single decision and stick to it for the rest of your life. You might find staying single in your 20s to focus on your career most suitable, and that's perfectly valid. That is the ideal way to approach this decision. Think about what you need to accomplish that'll require 100% of you. Brothers, you shouldn't feel lesser when you prioritize something others might not. You know about your journey the best, and you have to complete it on your own, so be unapologetic in your drive. With that said, thank you for watching and see you in the next video.